Titans and Trailblazers is brought to you by the MNC Group.
Welcome to another riveting edition of Titans and Trailblazers. Titans and Trailblazers is a Pan-African platform where we get to interview some of the most exciting people on this planet called Earth. And we try to understand from their viewpoint where they've come from, where they've been, where they are going. And we try to elicit from them some key lessons that they can share with us in order to make our own lives better and to fashion a better way forward for all those who come and join them on this discussion fiesta. So today I'll be talking to a friend of mine who went to the same secondary school that I did, the famous Achimota School. I'm called Professor Robert Eboinson. We'll be back with more of Titans and Trailblazers.
Whether you're a wholesaler, retailer, or consumer, MNC Logistics and Trading is your trusted partner in minerals and food commodities trading. Experience the difference with MNC Logistics and Trading for your commodities trading. We operate a well-equipped laboratory that smelts and assays gold to ensure transparent, credible, and reliable minerals transactions. Our general food commodity market deals with imports and exports of food products such as rice, sugar, and grains. We pride ourselves on delivering products that meet the highest standards of quality and taste. With our expertise in international trading and logistics, we bridge customers far and wide. Locate us at number 4 Neosai Interfo Avenue, East Legon, Accra. Call us on 030-299-8246 or visit our website www.mnclogisticsandtrading.com. MNC Logistics and Trading, hub of confidence.
MNC Group is a leading investment holding company with expertise in minerals and food commodity trading, precious minerals refinery, real estate development, and logistics and energy with individually registered companies. Our headquarters is located in Accra, Ghana, with operational offices in Dubai, UAE, Hong Kong, and Guangzhou in China, Johannesburg in South Africa, Virginia in the USA, and Milan, Italy. We connect business markets and drive growth. Trust us to maximize value in every deal. Call us on 0302-551-917 or 0302-551-918 or send us an email mncgroup@mncgroupgh.com. MNC Group, totally reliant.
Welcome back to Titans and Trailblazers, and today in my monologue I discuss a book I wrote with one of my fathers in the marketing academy, Professor John Kwada. Now, Professor John Kwada chaired my PhD assessment committee in Aalborg University in Denmark when I did this defense just over a decade ago. Very cool guy, very supportive, and we wrote this book called Service Marketing in Ghana, a customer relationship management perspective, because it became very clear to us that the service sector in Ghana is exploding. The service sector in Africa is exploding. There are more churches, there are more clinics, there are more law firms, there are more specialized international schools, there are more universities, more banks, more insurance companies. So other service sector kept growing. We thought that we should come up with a small book. I mean, this was the smallest book I have in my 45 book repository, smallest. And the reason is this: we don't want this book to be used for any PhD discussion. It's meant for those who are working right now, those who need some quick tidbits to go and improve the way they manage their various customer audiences. And so, in the chapter 1 of the book, we tell you what to expect from reading the book. So today, instead of giving my own commentary, I'll just read for you from the book what we said, and then you can judge whether or not you should be rushing out of your office or rushing out of your bedroom right now to go and get a copy of the book. We said in this book that the days when customer needs are arrogantly ignored, they are gone forever. We also said that as the Ghanaian economy picks up and as competition intensifies in most sectors, customers will continue to be more sensitive and less forgiving of the errors that companies make when serving them. Please, this one is in the book, so let me repeat this sentence for your edification. As the Ghanaian economy picks up, now we are in reset mode. We are resetting everything so that we have more money, more prosperity. So as we reset and the competition intensifies in most sectors, customers will continue to be more sensitive and less forgiving of the errors that companies make when serving them. We said in this book that customers want to be treated with respect and dignity for the money that they pay you for the goods and services you deliver to them. So I hear people say all the time that, Ghana must be more industrialized. We must focus more on agribusiness. Look, I grant all those arguments. But even as those arguments are being made, in the last decade or so, it's the service sector that keeps growing and growing and growing. And today, my friend, Professor Kobe Mensah says he's starting night tours in the city. He's the CEO of Ghana Tourism Development Corporation. I've heard similar sentiments coming from the tourism minister. My friend, Brother Samuel Mensah, is organizing food fairs. In fact, today there's even a food festival. So when I finish, I'm going to join them to eat some kenke and shrimps. So the thing is that the service sector is growing. So whilst we do agribusiness and industrial, we need to have clear strategies for growing hospitality, growing banking, growing insurance, growing recreation, and it is what it is. So please, we are saying that the intensity increases as the service sector grows. Now the question is, what strategies should you adopt to deal with changing customer nuances, changing customer preferences, and what extra effort should you make to keep your customers delighted? In our estimation and in the postulation of this book, we think that this is a question most Ghanaian managers are struggling to answer. So part of the solution for this quagmire is the formulation of effective customer relationship strategies. We argue in this book that it is no longer enough for a Ghanaian service company or manufacturing entity or fast-moving consumer good company to be skillful in just attracting new customers. Now, retaining profitable customers is an even more important skill for entities operating in this beautiful country called Ghana. And we need to retain them and then encourage them to become disciples and advocates of the products and services we are selling to them, so that they'll recommend our products and services to their friends and their acquaintances. What we argue, therefore, is that companies must build customer relationships that prevent their customers from defecting or becoming easy poach targets for those who are competing with them. We argue in this book again that the first important step in achieving this customer centricity goal is to make your customers not just satisfied with your goods and services, but make them raving fans by delighting them in a way your competitors never can. If you are listening to me and you're a small business owner, manager in the bank, manager in a bank in Zimbabwe or in Ghana or in Nigeria, we are arguing that you must be aware that customers these days, when they are dissatisfied, they can trumpet their dissatisfaction to the whole world through a plethora of social media platforms. Dissatisfaction can never be your portion. So we need to understand that we need high-performing companies in terms of their customer delivery propensities. This book aims at sharing this awareness of customer centricity with you. And our overall objective is to help you to remember the basic things you need to do. Basic things. This is not an AI discussion. It's not a DeepSeek discussion. It's not a ChatGPT discussion. Basic things you need to do in order for your company or your institution to be distinctively remembered and positively recommended by your various customer audiences. So let me tell you some of the unique features of this book and why you must go and get a copy. We provide you with state-of-the-art theoretical knowledge in very simple language to facilitate your reading and comprehension. Number 2, we focus our discussions on the Ghanaian business situation. Number 3, we provide you with illustrative examples of how some Ghanaian companies you are familiar with are doing well in the customer delivery stakes. Now it's important. Look, yesterday I was doing some training for a very interesting company, and I was training them on how the Bible is the basis for business success. So instead of just telling them how the Bible helps with marketing or HR or finance, I gave them examples of Joseph in the Bible, Nehemiah. I told them about Aquila, and I told them about how Bible characters have used Bible techniques to do well in government, in business. That's why cases matter, so you can relate very quickly. Number 4, we provide you with suggestion and action points to guide your own strategy formulation. So we've created some quick reference boxes in the room, in the book, so you can quickly reflect and see how you can apply what you're saying to the business you do today. Number 5, we also provide you with short case studies that reflect the challenges and possible dilemmas that some Ghanaian managers will grapple with in their day-to-day pursuit of service excellence. The case studies and the boxes provide concrete contemporary examples of the issues involved in the various stages of service marketing delivery. Service marketing's overarching goal, we argue in this book, is to carefully balance customer acquisition strategies with customer retention strategies. So your job as a manager in any company is to understand your customer needs, develop product and services that meet and exceed these needs, deliver superior customer value, and promote your services effectively so your customers will find them attractive, and then the price they pay for it should always be less than the value they appropriate from the goods or services you deliver to them. Your relationships with customers will also provide you with new ideas and new ways of enhancing the value of your services you deliver to them, and new ways of communicating these values to them as well. Please, your customers are your kings, they are your queens, and they are your princes, and they are your princesses. They are also your employers. Listen, a university with no students will not need a vice chancellor. They will not need a pro-vice chancellor like me. No registrar will be required. So your customers, they employ us. And it is because of these customers that we exist as businesses, whether we are in public sector or private sector. Customers are supposed to be treated like kings and queens. So if any of your customers defect in this modern age, they can live with other customers as well. So in closing this monologue, here are the 2 key messages in this book. Your performance as a manager depends on your ability to assess which customers are worth retaining from a current or potential profitability standpoint, and measuring how these ones react to your offers. The 80-20 Pareto rule tells you that 20% of your customers give you 80% of your revenue. So your platinum customers deserve extra attention and extra respect. Make use of every moment in your customer interactions to listen carefully to them and bring their voices to bear on the decisions and strategies you make to serve them. every customer interaction is a reason to have two possible outcomes: a moment of misery or a moment of magic. After reading this book, it will push you more towards magic and away from misery. So get a copy if you want to save your life. And trust me, you'll be better off acquiring this book. Thank you for listening. We'll be back with more of Titans and Trailblazers. Stay tuned.
MGL Logistics and Supply is your trusted partner, providing seamless solutions for all your procurement needs. From sourcing products to managing imports and exports, we ensure smooth and efficient transactions every step of the way. Whether you require goods from across the globe or need assistance in exporting your products to international markets, we got you covered. General trading is at the heart of our expertise. We specialize in a wide range of products, catering to various industries and markets. As a trusted dealership in building materials, we provide high-quality products that meet the demands of our construction projects. Additionally, we act as manufacturers' representatives, connecting producers with distributors. Our expertise in logistics is the backbone of our operations. We plan and execute transportation and delivery of goods, ensuring they reach their destination on time and in optimal condition. MGO Logistics and Supply, guaranteed satisfaction.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. With MNC Properties, property sales, rentals, and management is a walk in the park. We believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy, specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 to 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We offer flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs, plus litigation-free lands in vibrant and upscale communities that presents the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 0302 551 917. MNC Properties, choice of class.
The National Sanitation Day is with us again. The Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, in collaboration with the Jospon Group of Companies, organized the National Sanitation Day, and this is going to be held every first Saturday of the month. And I appeal to our chiefs and traditional leaders to join this project. As you already are aware, our traditional leaders are the custodians of the land, and when they are part of this project, is going to urge the citizenry to also take up the mantle of keeping the environment clean. Also, we appeal to the various leaders, the Market Women Association, the Queen Mothers Association, the GPRTU, the ProTour, that everybody should come on board to help clean our environment and make sure that we live in a healthy lifestyle. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Titans and Trailblazers. And when you see my smile is very wide, it means that there's an Achimota in the studio, you know, because Akroans are phenomenal people. So today I have the pleasure of welcoming somebody who is not just an Achimotan, but he has bachelor's and master's degrees from a university where I'm pro-vice chancellor, which is the Ghana Communication Technology University. So he's in a good church too, because his bishop is also my friend and my papa. So the man, everything that's correct about him, it blesses me too. So please, Solo, tell us your full name and tell us why you're also smiling, and then we can start from there.
Right, thank you very much, Prof. My name is Solomon Atowusu-Mantia. I'm smiling because it was an honor to receive this call from one of the pioneers of Achimota School. And so whenever the call comes from a senior who himself is a massive trailblazer, it's an honor to answer the call, and it's a great privilege to be here. So I'm excited about the conversation.
So I'm a trailblazer myself?
Yes, you are, Prof.
I mean, I didn't know. I just thought I was a show host hosting Trailblazers, but I think today I also add Trailblazer to myself. But tell us where you were born. Tell us about your formative years. Tell us what primary school you went to, why you chose Achimota, and why you are in tech today. Tell us about yourself, sir.
Wonderful. So I was born in Accra to a mother who was working as a commissioner for oats, so a typist, and to a father who was one of the cloth, so a pastor. I attended primary school with St. Peter's Lutheran Academy in Medina. So I grew up in Medina Zongo. Precisely, right behind the Masalachi. So I grew up with Zongo boys, playing football, playing truant, and all of those things. So the journey then at the time, senior high school was a big deal for us because we were in an area where everybody would come back home during holidays and tell you about the schools they were attending. So, Prof, actually, there's a funny story about my Achimota journey, which I don't tell too often. But what actually happened was when I was choosing my schools in Form 3, I didn't choose Achimota School.
Oh, really?
No, Prof.
That's amazing.
So I chose Presec, Accra Academy, and Aquinas. And then but I believe that in shading, those times we were shading the schools to select them. So when I was shading, I made a mistake.
Wow.
And so my form, then we didn't have the system we have today.
Correct.
So my form ended up at Achimota School.
Really?
So I remember we had our results, it came out, and I was excited because I had done well, and I knew that I would go to Presec. So we went to Presec looking for my forms, and it wasn't there. We spent several weeks going there. So we were on our way from Presec to Accra Academy, my second choice. I was quite crestfallen. I thought to myself, how could this be? With my dad. And then we got, so on our way to Bleo, we got a call from an angel. Because us up to this day, we don't know who it was who called us. And he said to us, go to Achimota School. So I asked my dad, what is Achimota School? Because at that time, I hadn't even heard about it. It wasn't that known to me. And he said to me that if your forms are there, you're going to stay there.
Wow.
So we got there, and lo and behold, my name was number 5 on the list.
No way.
And I said, Achimota School, I don't really say. He said to me, son, this will be one of the best things you decide to do in your life.
Wow.
And Prof, I am proud to say, I think that decision, that particular thing was a turning point in my career, in my life.
Total blessing.
The blessings that I can chronicle in my life, almost all of them start from that point.
Really?
The people I know today that I work with in corporate and in church, everywhere, business, many of them, they are either direct from there or related.
Connected
and so
somehow.
I think that was definitely a divine connection for me. And so today I am the proudest Akura you will find anywhere.
I can imagine.
And it's
what house were
great.
you in?
I was in Fraser House.
On the west?
I was on the west, yes.
I was on the west myself.
Wonderful.
I was saying, Hasde team became Stopford, became OA, became something.
Yes, yes.
My house is the one with the most revolving set of names. It's a very special house. But you're in Fraser?
I was in Fraser.
Okay, so who are some of your mates from Fraser House? And where are they now?
Great. So there's Dr. Kwekusa Fumenu. He's currently, I believe, in Ireland. He's working with an NGO that looks after adult health. I believe there are a few others also in the US doing different things as well. There is Elom Fiaka. He's, I think, within the sports media space as well. And there are quite a few others that are in different spaces.
Fiaka, I think I know him.
Yes, you should know him. He's in a lot of media.
That's
so
MC,
yes.
Yeah, he was my student. Fiaka,
yes,
he was in my student. I think he told me.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So Elom was mid as well. And a few others, yes.
Oh, wow, okay. So after Achimota, what happened to you?
Yes, so again, interesting story. After Achimota School, again, the first choice was to go to tech and to do medicine because, again, we had understood or somehow been made to believe that if you were a science student, then the best thing for you after science is medicine, or the only thing for you is medicine.
Indeed.
And so I chosen, tech to go and do medicine. Again, results came through, I applied, and I didn't get the program I was looking for. So here I was again at another crossroads. Step in my dad one more time. then he was the head of admissions at GCTU, then GTUC.
Okay.
And then he said to me, you know what, I think that, and I was actually quite good with tech, but I took it for granted. I just felt it's just something I know. I don't really have to build a career out of it. So I was determined to do medicine. He said to me, with the skill set you have and other things, features that make you unique, we think that this tech thing, and then it was really, really big in Ghana. It was becoming a very big thing. He said to me, go there. So we go to GTUC. Again, I'm like, is this the path for me?
For GTUC then?
Then GTUC, now GCTU now.
But go ahead, yes.
So we went there, and Prof, again, another journey that I have no regrets about whatsoever. Just so many things. I believe that my journey, corporate, academic, everything came from there. I remember very well a career fair we had then. That was my first leap into corporate world through GCTU at the time. So yes, interesting journey for me as well. And then, whilst I was there, got a chance to do my master's as well, right again within the same place. So yes, it's been a blessing to me as well.
But the information, communication, and technology field is a wide field.
Very.
But I noticed your master's degree was in cybersecurity.
Yes.
So what's the fascination with cybersecurity?
Thank you, Prof. So I think that personally, I realized that I'm drawn to security. I'm safety conscious. I'm always thinking about risks, right? So, and I enjoy tech. I enjoy playing with gadgets. I enjoy how tech works and how it contributes to society. But I understood that you can only make it useful if it is secured and safe. And so when I was finishing my first degree, which was in IT, we had multiple options to choose for masters. And I said to myself, something in cyber appeals to me because I am intrigued about how tech works within cyber, or how cyber, complements tech to solve problems in society. And so I found myself trying to understand encryption and principles around security, which were already a natural tendency for me. And so it was easier to then draw upon that to have more curiosity into this area of cybersecurity. So actually it was in digital forensics, which basically is understanding when a crime has occurred within the cyberspace. How do you identify it? How do you deal it? How do you, investigate and arrive at the answers? And so that has been the point of fascination for me.
Well, since you've gone down the path of digital forensics, anytime you watch all these Netflix series, you see all sorts of sophisticated movements, and I can feel digital forensics in the TV. But in Africa, where is the digital forensics? Is it working? Can it work? Is there enough sophistication within the policing and the detective arena for digital forensics, or is there room for improvement in your estimation?
Well, Prof, I think that if you had asked me this question 10 years ago, the answer would have been slightly different. I think we've made massive improvements in the space and across board. So if I look at even within our police service, I recall about 13 years ago, I was part of a project between GCTU, again, a pioneer in these things, with the Ghana Police. Then was the advent of Sakawa and the like. So we had to work on a project to see how best to help the police identify and clamp down on these things. And quite recently, about a year or so ago, I was part of a workshop where, again, we had the Ghana Police in there. And I could tell the journey from 13 years back and now, the improvements are massive. I know for a fact that they have improved massively, both in terms of the resources, the training, even the infrastructure that supports forensics is much better now than we had before.
Okay.
Yes.
It's very instructive you should say that because, symbolically, the police training school is also behind us. So
that's true.
It's almost as if
that's true.
If somebody must be blessed, it's your neighbors.
You have to be in that orbit.
I find it very instructive that we are married to the police and that digital forensics is improving.
Yes.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
So, in your GCTU journey, who were some of your classmates? Where are they now? Are they in Ghana or where are they?
So classmates
both
again,
undergrad and masters. Any of them, male, female,
yes.
Anybody.
So again, with GCTU and the focus at that point, I believe, was to look at education across the sub-region. So for a long time, it was all about being the pioneer in that space. So I had colleagues from Nigeria, from Cote d'Ivoire, from all over the place.
But you stay in touch with these people, though.
We do.
You don't know
we
where
do,
the blessing will come
we
from.
do.
A French blessing might emanate from La Cote d'Ivoire.
Indeed.
So you have to stay in touch.
Indeed. Like there have been a few times when I've traveled and I've had to call on these friends.
Interesting.
I'm coming over, so let's meet. My classmates, again, quite a number of them, they are doing marvelous things in the tech space. Some outside the country, well, quite a number of them outside the country. But there are also a few GCB EcoBank. So I recall there was a time when EcoBank's IT workforce was primarily GCT, you guys.
Really?
Yes. So most of the pioneering things that were done between 2010 to probably 2017 was built on GCTU graduates going in there.
So EcoBank owes me a tithe.
You probably should.
Yeah,
so
I'll tell my vice
so it was
chancellor.
going straight from there to eProcess, working as the tech team at the time. So many of them are doing that. A few also are abroad. There are a few also in academia, but it's quite a wide pool.
Yes. And you had some interesting lectures at GCTU.
We did.
Yes,
we did.
I know the dean is your friend, Dr. Brown.
Dr. Brown, yes.
He went to St. Augustine's, not at Chimota, but he's still a good man.
We'll have to make do.
My boss was in St. Augustine's as well, so if he watches this show, I want him to know I appreciate St. Augustine's very well too. So you're a man of faith. You say your father was a pastor.
Yes.
When did you decide to become a Christian, and what has your Christian journey been like?
Wow, Prof, I could spend the whole day talking about this. So I think I'll probably start with the well-known myth that pastor's son or pastor's child, it wasn't as straightforward.
Stubborn people who don't follow the word of God.
I mean, I think my own journey, the best thing my father did for me was to allow me to find Christ myself.
Amen.
He provided guidance for it, but it was really up to me. So at the age of 12, at a camp meeting at Pesek, funny, very ironic.
Came through.
Yes.
No, I'm shouting. Shout out to the daddy people. Yes, Pesek still came through.
At Pesek 20, I was about 12 years. That was when I gave my life to Christ. And I remember my dad being so happy about it, because all along, we were in church. We were going to church and all of that, but we hadn't yet crossed that very important milestone. So that is where I became a Christian. And I came from a musical family. So then, obviously, understanding that at 12 years, and if you recall when I was recounting my senior high school university stories, I had to understand, I had to learn from God that His plan for my life is bigger than my own plan.
Indeed.
And so at different portions, when I felt confused, when I felt that, what do I do? What is the next step? I had to rely on that. It's been a journey where I first began knowing Him as Lord, but then I think over the years, it's been more of a father. I think that is the best way I can summarize it. And it's been pivotal to my life. I always say that everything around me revolves around that. Yes.
So within the specificity of your work at the Parish Chapel, tell me about the church, the leadership of the Archbishop, and the role you play at the Parish Chapel.
Wonderful. So Parish Chapel, I've been there probably little over 2 decades, actually. I first joined the youth. I rose to become the head of music for the youth department. Then I was still in university at GCTU, so I used to trek, actually cross the roadway, come for rehearsal.
I know that route very well.
Just come through, come for rehearsal. I remember again, just to segue back to the faith discussion, to say that I always told God that this is a covenant with you.
Indeed.
I should never complete university and ever have a gap in employment.
Absolutely.
And to His glory, ever since then, never had that issue. So Parish Chapel is a wonderful place to be. I think that, so I've been in music since I've been there. So first as the youth music director, and then in 2020, I got a call from the Archbishop, and he said to me that I think you've spent enough time in the youth, and so there are some things here I want you to come and do for me. And then I moved into the main church, where again I was appointed as the head of music, which is where I have served up until now. It's an interesting journey. The Archbishop is a very simple man. Oftentimes you look at a man that carries the grace he carries, and you may probably be wondering, what is he like up close? He is a very simple man, very down to earth.
I know him up close. He's very simple.
Very down to earth.
I mean, he gets to the point quickly, and
yes.
He's a blessing. He's a full blessing.
He is. But he demands the highest levels of output from you.
No question.
And so with that, he's always. And so it's been a blessing working with him. He's been a blessing to my life and to my family as well.
So how important is music? Because the charismatic brand of Christianity is very music-centered. We like to dance and express ourselves. So what for you is so important about music for church and especially for the charismatic church?
Well, Prof, we probably need to situate that question in the context of the Bible, because whether we are charismatics, we are orthodox, whatever it is, our foundation is the Bible. So if we understand that in the Bible, music plays a particular role in serving God. Now, when you then extrapolate from that into what we now do today as our service, music is critical. Now, music is supposed to be a channel, okay? It's supposed to be a medium through which we communicate certain things to God. Paul said, I will pray in my understanding, but I will also sing as well.
Indeed.
So it means that there is a place, music has been a tool that was there before we came.
Absolutely.
Now, if we are able to capitalize on music as a tool, it can do so much.
That's right.
So within the setting of today's charismatic environment, what do we use music for? I know people who have left churches because of music.
And
People who have joined churches
because of music. Indeed.
we see today lots of ministers who have understood that it's not enough to just sing. You need to minister.
Come on.
You need to be able to add the word to it. So
on.
our job essentially is to create a conducive atmosphere for the man of God to deliver the word.
That is it.
In fact, if we do our work well enough, we can have what happened in Chronicles,
Come on.
where the man of God cannot even preach because we have so done the work that the Spirit has descended
That
or
is
is
it.
with manifesting. So it's critical to us that as ministers we understand that calling.
Absolutely.
Many people sometimes misplace the calling. We misplace the essence of the duty on us, and we end up chasing what I call the minors. The major is to ensure that when you have done your work properly, first of all, heaven smiles at you, but then the manifestation in the service is that we are able to tie things together for the service as a whole.
On that musical tying things together note, we'll take a short break and be back with more of Titans and Trailblazers. Stay with us.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. With MNC Properties, property sales, rentals, and management is a walk in the park. We believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy, specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 to 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We offer flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs, plus litigation-free lands in vibrant and upscale communities that presents the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 0302 551 917. MNC Properties, choice of class.
Divine Yao Aijwe is my name. I'm the director in charge of research, statistics, information management of the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy, and Religious Affairs. As we await the big announcement in May 2025 of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on the need for National Sanitation Day and sustaining the process, we are hoping that Ghanaians together will help clean our homes and our environments for a better future for this country. Also preventing cholera and attracting the best tourist attraction to our beaches, because as I pass by, the deep blue sea is becoming brown. And as I travel to Lusaka, Zambia, I travel to Cote d'Ivoire, Abidjan, I travel to Abuja, Nigeria, I travel to Nairobi, Kenya. We can do better as Ghanaians. We need to clean our environment so that we can also attract the best tourists to our beaches and earn some currency to improve our economy for the years to come. I hope that this call is a call to duty that will help cleaning our homes and then to our communities and to our cities and the whole country. I hope that this call will be heeded to help our country look better in the community of nations. Thank you.
We closed on a musical note, and I was thinking that when you sing songs like "When the Glory Comes," there will be no words to say. Oh, So I think music is a life and death issue, But let me not get excited. I'm just the host, so let me just go back to the head of music and take some more musical wisdom from him. Sir, you said that some people leave church because of music, and some join because of music. There are stories in the Bible where evil spirits were leaving certain kings because ministration came. And for me, when I wake up at 4 a.m. and have good music, sometimes I don't even have to tell God anything. He sort of understands that I'm thankful and I'm here. So to continue with the music discussion, what do you think the role of music is in Africa's development? Church is one, but I think music, look, I gave a keynote in Zimbabwe or Zambia 2 years ago, and at that time, Davido had just become platinum gold, something had happened to him. So Africa is a musical continent. So generally speaking, what do you think the role of music is in developing this beautiful continent of Africa?
Prof, this is a big one. I'll probably start from scripture.
Yeah.
Paul said that howbeit there are many different types of voices, and none is without significance. We understand that languages don't end with what we speak. Music is a language.
Absolutely.
Across the African continent, and we have seen it.
Absolutely.
You look at across the major west, south, east, and it's obviously a big part of our culture as a people. And we use music to communicate certain things that sometimes our words cannot communicate.
Absolutely.
And so music isn't just enabling our culture, it is helping us tell our story as a people to the next generation that is coming after us.
Actually, sorry, something just occurred to me. I'll let you continue. But I remember when Archbishop turned 60, and I was flying from Kigali just to come and honor him in the service. When I left my flat, this song was in my spirit. See what the Lord has done. So I got home, relaxed. The next day, I drove to Jowulu. When I got to the entrance, they were singing, see what?
Yes.
I told my wife, hey, and it was so interesting that the song was in my spirit from the day before, stayed with me through the aircraft, came, and when I entered I was like, so I think God also speaks to us through song. I think there's something about the song. And sometimes I can wake up in the morning with a song in my spirit, and I just go with it into the quiet time, and that's how my day goes. So I'm sorry I had to segue into that, but I think music matters at different levels.
I think actually you've helped my case for me. Music transcends what we understand as normal voice. Music hits at the core of our being. Music is able to touch the soul of a man. So there are things that words cannot communicate or are limited in communicating, but in a song you can communicate that as well. And so across the African terrain, we need to look at our music and say, how do we, and again, you are the marketing guru in this sense, how do we encapsulate our music? It's unique. Go anywhere in the world, and when you hear an African song, you know some African song. You understand that we hold rhythm. We understand how rhythm works. And so the question you want to ask is, how are we maximizing our music potential as part of our unique selling proposition as Africans?
And our reset agenda in Ghana.
Exactly, Prof. And so across the terrain, and I think that we need to understand that it need not be a competition.
No.
We have uniqueness across the various regions. We need to complement each other. It can tell our story. It can be a unique product that even helps us in development as a people. We can chart our own path. We don't need to follow what has been done. We can take guidance from it. But music, for me, from where I sit, can be one of the pioneering paths through which we chart our own path as Africa and develop.
And some of our biggest exports from the continent
have been.
Look at Sinach. I mean, when Sinach ministers, you don't know what to do with yourself. And she's a global icon. She stands tall. Look at Bassi. I mean, one very accomplished female minister. She leads music in church. She's a very accomplished banker. So she said, Prof, you know something? When we don't have time to pray or rehearse, just take a bassy song, you'll be fine. And I was like, oh wow. He said,
because
bassy song, they come
exactly.
with power. So
yes.
you don't even need to. If the choristers struggled a bit, they couldn't pray enough, when you get on stage, take a bassy song, you'll be fine. I was like, wow. And bassy songs are ministered globally. It's not in one place. In American churches, I remember Sinach sang once at Lakewood for John Osteen. She brought the roof down. So in secular and religious spaces, Africa has iconic music exports.
We do.
So I think that we need to be serious.
We do.
Because
we do.
I think recently some of the gospel artists may be starting to forget the discipline required to perform at a certain level, because excellence is universal. It doesn't matter whether it's secular or gospel. So let's talk a bit about the discipline required to stay on top as a music minister.
Prof, again, I think that has been the biggest bane of most religious settings that we have. We try to dissociate, or we try to decouple spiritual from the excellence required. And I always give the example of Daniel. We look at him, and it's a very telling story.
It's an amazing story.
Daniel oversaw 120 princes, 3 satraps, of which he was the chief.
Absolutely.
And the Bible says that when they sought for occasion against him, they couldn't find it with his work.
Daniel 6, yes.
Daniel it was 6. Only with his God.
With the prayer.
So it tells us that he was so excellent in his job as a governor that there was nothing found there. So then how be it that, again, you read, the Bible, Exodus, Leviticus, and you see the order and precision with which God commanded the people to serve.
Undoubtedly.
There were Levites who had particular roles.
Absolutely.
So let's bring it down to our church today. I think that discipline is crucial. There are 5 pillars that build a music department. And discipline is a key cornerstone of them. We cannot expect to just ride on the wings of the Spirit, not because it is not enough, but because the one who sponsors the Spirit himself requires excellence.
Come on.
So God sponsors the Spirit. He gives the enablement. But God is a God of excellence. You look at his creation, it works in excellence. And so we have had a problem where church music especially, and thankfully a few people have changed that narrative now, but that has been the bane. We want to operate just at the level of we will pray and we rehearse and it will be enough. No. There should be proper administrative provision for church management. We should understand the place of everything, of discipline, of time management, of structure, even of leadership. How do you set up the church leadership? How should it flow? And Prof, I could go on, but I think that has been one of the charges that has been given to me by the Archbishop, to ensure that we marry the technical excellence of music with ensuring proper governance and structures in place
and
to move to the next level.
Execution discipline. I mean,
Prof.
when I visited the Potter's House 2010-2011. I went to speak at the University of North Texas, and a friend of mine called Sandra took me to the Potter's House, and this guy who sang "Our God is greater, our God is strong," he ministered that day. My brother.
Michael Stampley.
I still remember the service like it was yesterday evening, man. I mean, the order in the Potter's House, the administration. Sarita Jakes launched a new book. I mean, like, it was a grand display of execution excellence.
Excellent, yes.
And I was in Musa Sono's Grace Church in Soweto a couple of months ago, and I saw the same discipline. When KICC was at the old site, before they moved, I remember I attended a convention where Pastor Bimbo ministered. Same discipline. You go to churches in Ghana, you see the same discipline. So I think the Daniel example was profound to the extent that I keep saying that Christians are excellent people. We can't be mediocre and say that we are praying. No, this. In fact, the tongues becomes a problem when you are an apology to the Christ we serve. I think.
Excellent point, Prof. Excellent point.
I shouldn't say it.
It is. We must say it, Prof. I think that we must say it.
I think it's correct.
I think we must say it.
So let us come back again to IT and cybersecurity. At a continental level, there are now a couple of geopolitical shifts. I mean, President Trump is saying that I'll look after myself, look after yourself. So from an IT sufficiency standpoint, what should African countries do what investment should they make in the ICT space to ensure that we have the most robust IT systems and policies, and then even more profoundly, our cyber security systems are also well placed to deal with threats that are present and come in the future?
Prof, again, very good question. I'll start by saying that we have made some major inroads in that space across Africa. I can mention countries like Kenya, South Africa, even Ghana. In the past 5 or so years, we've seen some massive improvements in the space. What we need to do, Prof, is to understand that nobody will solve our problems for us. And I think that pronouncements like what came from President Trump are good for us, because we need to understand that we must define our problem statement properly and then put in place our plans to solve it. Now, what do we need to do? One is that we need government to understand that cybersecurity in a digital era cannot be just a private sector problem. Okay, we need a deliberate move from government to understand that we need to put in place the right structures. And to be fair, again, we are seeing this across board. So in Ghana, we have the Cybersecurity Authority, who has been playing a pivotal role in that space the past 5 or so years. So that needs to come through a clear policy on what we want to do with cyber in the country. We don't need to wait for a 9/11 of sorts before we act. We need to understand that this is our third landscape. Again, there are threats that are peculiar to Africa because of how we understand our market and how we do. Again, even our population bulge itself is a problem. We have a particular demography that in the next 10 years will be a problem for us. And so our problems are different from other people's problems. So government involvement, first of all. Second thing I want to look at again is how do we then harness, because again, in many of our regions, we have private companies that have really developed for different reasons. So you have banks that, because they are trans-Africa, whatever it is, they have made investments in there. You can leverage off that and then build a proper private-public partnership so that you can build. So government can't do everything. They will set the policy, they will set the tone, but then they need to create room for private sector players to fully be part of it without feeling as if our efforts would go to naught. Then the third thing for me is human resource. Probably the biggest problem we have in the cyberspace, not just in Ghana or Africa, globally, is that we seem to be doing so much, but we just can't seem to make up the deficit when it comes to the human resource. It's just so difficult to get people who are qualified, properly qualified, and do the work. There are many charlatans in the space, we must admit, but then getting the right people to be in the space is difficult. And we keep saying that 2050 we won't have enough because we are always sort of chasing the backlog. And so Africa, we need to deliberately start. And again, when we were in school and we did science, we were told, or the impression was that science must lead to medicine. But today, and I'm happy that some senior high schools have realized that no, you don't wait to university to build your cyber guy. Start with him from primary school. Why can't he understand coding from primary school? And so again, today I'm happy that we are seeing that trend where coding is coming as low as primary school, because coding is a big part, not only of tech, of cyber, even problem solving. The coding challenges problem solving. It transcends IT or even just digital skills that you need to survive in the next digital era. And so that human resource bit needs to be focused. We need to build such that we can even export them. So I mentioned colleagues today from GTUC, from Motown, who are abroad. It's because they have a skill that is in demand, and so they've left our shores and they've gone outside. And so Africa can focus there as well and say, how can we become the bedrock of talent within? We know in Silicon Valley, some decades ago, began somewhere, and today we understand that most startups come from there, they move. Why can't we become the bedrock of cyber talent for Africa and the world? We move from there and then we go out there and then we impact the world as living waters to a thirsty land.
Indeed, indeed. So I was reading some communication yesterday or day before yesterday, and apparently MTN has invested something like 100 or 200 million in improving their infrastructure as part of a 5-year plan to invest $1 billion or something of that very fascinating scale. If a private entity that's serious about transforming itself from a tech company to something, they have some very interesting visions that they are following, can put their money where their mouth is. Don't you think governments in Africa should be devoting larger resources to this sort of development you speak to? Or just a talk game?
Prof, I mean, and that's where I think that the challenge or the problem statement is well defined, just like you said it. Government, we understand, can't do everything, but like you said, the Bible says that where the treasure of a man is, there his heart will be.
Absolutely.
I believe that when you turn that verse around, it also makes sense.
Indeed.
That if I look at where your heart is, I can tell that your treasure also is there.
Correct.
And so, as a government, when we look at our budget and we look at the allocation to cyber and tech advancements, it tells us where our priority is.
Okay.
What we want to do as a country. What is our policy direction when it comes to cyber or even tech? Some countries chose India, said to ourselves, okay, at a particular point in time, we're going to change this thing. And so today you look at the cyber and tech workforce across the world. It's no coincidence that many of the tech giants have CEOs who are of Indian origin.
Absolutely.
They began from a point.
Absolutely.
And so it starts from detailing what we want to do as a country. Then to the government, can we do more? Yes, we should do more, Prof. I don't think that the piecemeal approach or the very pacifist approach to trying to, contribute to that space is enough. And it is evident that we keep losing our talent. Within my space, Prof, we've lost a number of people in the tech space who have left. Some not willing to come back. Government needs to decide clearly what we want to do. And then we must see it in the budget allocation that goes to cyber and tech. If MTN, a private entity, like you said, has made this much investment, and Prof, MTN has been doing amazing things in the space.
Oh, very much.
So many things. So if they are doing this, and the other companies, again, in Ghana as well, who are, multinationals, who are doing amazing things in tech, and we understand that this is because there is a bigger vision. They want to own the bigger. They've understood what the next frontier is.
Indeed.
And they are trying to own it before we even get there. So as a country, what is our policy? And then we must then back that policy with provisions as well, which includes making sure we have the money to support it as well.
So, as we start to wrap up, the new government has a very interesting 1 million coder program that they are trying to roll out. And I suspect that that program will have a dual effect of not just creating new digital skill sets, but also creating youth who can become entrepreneurial, because the blessing of being digitally savvy is that with very little overheads, you can provide solutions. So if you could give some advice to your fellow church member, who's a minister and an elder in your church, regarding what to do to make this program even more successful, what would your thoughts be, sir?
Right, Prof. So I would say that one is get the policy right before you spend the money.
Okay.
A big chunk of the problems we've had in execution, which we define, is that oftentimes we place the cart before the horse. So we have money. What should we do? There should be a coherent strategy as to what we want to achieve. Clearly detailed outcomes that we are looking to track and measure. Then the money can then be channeled right. So the first thing I'll say is that let's get the policy right. Okay. And the policy must be one that is continuous. Okay. Even if it has a beginning and an end, there should be a clear-cut agenda. We want to achieve this in this time. Okay. Number two is that understand where our biggest impact can be. Right. Digital literacy is a need. However, there's a focus group that you can apply to where you can make the most impact. If you have limited resources or funds, you need to be intentional in your application. Indeed. Otherwise, you could thinly spread it out and then end. Exactly. Yes. And so that would be my next thing to him to say, look across the demography. Where can we make the most impact? Okay. If it's 4 years, and hit that place hard. Okay. Then the third thing for me would be drive an outcome-based assessment process. Indeed. Not just output-based. Indeed. And so then say, we produced 1,000 coders. No. What did they contribute to development? Okay. That will show us where we are going next.
All right. So my final request from you will be to give us 3 practical tips for the youth of Africa today in terms of securing a future that is useful and progressive versus thinking that things will be handed to you on a silver platter and not going out to fight for what's supposed to be yours. What would be your 3 tips for African youth today?
One, understand that you didn't choose your continent, and so there's no point fighting where you were born.
Correct.
The world owes you nothing, and so the world will give you nothing. Number two is understand that you can change the course of your destiny. And so decide where you want to get to and understand what and who you need in that journey to get there. And number three is don't give up. Africa can be a challenging place to be in. But no matter what you do, no matter how hard it gets, don't give up. Keep pressing on. Fail fast, learn quickly, adapt, and then move ahead. And those will be the top three.
Finally, tell them why they must accept Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. Since you're a pastor's son, they will close on that one.
Jesus is the answer.
Indeed.
That statement rings true in every sense of the word.
Okay.
Jesus helps you, gives you perspective. He allows you to understand things how they ought to be. He gives you how life must go. With him in your boat, the storms will come, but no matter what you face, you'll be able to surmount it. And with him as well, he's able to tie in the dots for you and ensure that your future is certain as well.
On that stormy but calm note, we want to conclude this episode, this stimulating episode of Titans and Trailblazers, and thank Solomon for coming through. It has been a totally exhilarating experience, not least because we had two more towners in the studio. Presec, hi, and then we wish you all the best. Thanks for coming, Solomon.
Thank you, Prof.
You keep well.
For having me.
God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Titans and Trailblazers is brought to you by the MNC Group.